One,
One,
two,
two,
three.
three. Welcome
Welcome
and hello.
and hello. Thank you for joining us today. We're from L'Arche USA, specifically L'Arche Wavecrest in Southern California.
Uh-huh.
Thank you to Faith and Inclusion Network for inviting us. We're really happy to be here. First, we're going to start off with a video from L'Arche Atlanta.
Hello, my name is Tim Moore, and I'm the Executive Director of L'Arche Atlanta. L'Arche Atlanta is a member community of L'Arche International. L'Arche is French for the Ark, and it basically means a place of refuge for adults with intellectual disabilities. The genius behind L'Arche is that we focus on creating the context and community for a mutually transformative relationship. So this home houses 4 people with disabilities and 4 adults who live together as caregivers, and together they form a little family. And those relationships become models for the kind of relationships that other people in the neighborhood can also have with people with disabilities. The beauty of L'Arche is that people begin to discover that every single human being has a gift to contribute. People with disabilities are too often seen as recipients of charity, and what people discover in L'Arche is that they're capable of giving so much. So neighbors have been the beneficiaries of true friendship, that they get to know people and they get to know their gifts. So in L'Arche, we try to live just like any other family would. We're a faith community. We gather around the dinner table and break bread together. The whole point of this is that disability is not something that's scary. It's just another difference that is part of the human condition. We are different, but we are equal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. You didn't see us in the video because we live in California and we're from L'Arche Wavecrest. I'm Jack.
And I'm Chris.
And who is this right next to us?
Mary.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
I'm happy to be here from L'Arche USA, and we're so excited to talk with you today about being together, about building relationships across difference. So our goal for the next half hour is to introduce you to the life that we live in L'Arche, to share what we're learning from that life together, and to give you some really concrete tools to build relationships. These principles apply in any scenario, but particularly in faith communities and churches. So we're really glad that you're here with us today. We want to give you just a little roadmap. In L'Arche, we welcome the extra time that it takes to take the scenic route. So that's what we're inviting you into today. Yeah, to slow down and take a meandering stroll with us. Slowing down is really necessary if we want to be really present with each other and welcome the gifts that we each bring. So here's a little roadmap for where we're headed. We're going to talk a little bit about what L'Arche USA is. We'll take a breath together. Then we'll take a little tour of Jack and Chris's house. And then we'll have some storytelling, and we'll close out our time. And yeah, hope that it'll give you some fruitful things to reflect about. So before we can talk about the tools for relationship building, you need to know a little bit about who we are. So here, this is you see our website there. We'd love for you to visit us and find us on social media. So at L'Arche, we are people with and without intellectual disabilities, living, working, growing, forgiving, and celebrating together in community. Basically, we share our lives with one another. And yeah, as Tim in the video mentioned, our name is said L'Arche, like marsh, rhymes with marsh, and it means the ark. So at the center of our life is the belief that each of us, Chris, Jack, me, you, we each have gifts to share. And we in L'Arche are particularly committed to making the gifts of people with intellectual disabilities known in our society. Yeah, L'Arche demonstrates that when people with intellectual disabilities take their place at the table, they contribute to a more just, compassionate, and a more vibrant world for everybody. We have homes and employment programs across the country where people share their lives together. And we're really passionate about inclusion. We are a place for growth for all of our members with and without disabilities. And we center the voices of people with disabilities. So through programs like this one today, L'Arche is a messenger for the power of belonging. And we hope you can take some of these things that you learn here today and apply them in the life of your congregation or your faith community. So L'Arche USA is the umbrella organization for 17 communities like L'Arche Wavecrest, where Jack and Chris are members, and a number of emerging communities in the United States. And there are more than 150 L'Arche communities all over the world on 5 continents. We're in a lot of places. Yeah, so from Seattle to Boston, from Argentina to Zimbabwe, we're all over the place. And so we have more than 10,000 members that really bear witness to the dignity and the value of every single human being. Whew. All right, that was a lot of information. So,
wow, that's a lot.
yeah, right, Chris? So let's take a minute. And as you can tell, we're all about building relationships. And one thing that we've learned is that it helps when we can just be together. So especially when you're in a faith community, there can be a lot of things that are going on, lots of people coming in and out, lots of activities that are happening. So we invite you to just take pace down a notch and be with us. And, you know, even virtually in this video, we'd like to just be present with you. So first step might be to take a breath together. Chris, do you want to lead us in that?
Sure. Okay, everyone, let's calm ourselves. Take a deep breath on 3. 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm.
Now that we've taken a deep breath and we're a little more centered and calm, and now that you know a little bit about L'Arche, thanks to what Mary has just shared with you, we can share with you what we're learning from our time in community together. So in L'Arche, we find many differences in ability, faith background, race, communication ability, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Our differences could look even bigger when we share space together. So whether it's living in the home or, you know, people that come to share life and time in the community that don't already live in the community, or maybe you've even experienced these differences in your work or home life. It can be hard to bridge those gaps, definitely, but building relationships is the most important work we do because our world needs it so badly and so direly, especially right now. So we have a toolkit we like to share with 4 tools for building relationships across difference. So Chris is going to read these for you.
Okay.
The first one is
Be there.
the second one,
Be open.
the third,
Be patient.
the fourth.
And last, be authentic.
Yeah, that's an important one too. So they're all of equal importance. So the first step, yeah, is be there. So we're going to show a video of a house tour of where Chris and I live at Wavecrest. Abraham House is the name of our home. So we hope you enjoy. Action.
Hi again, this is Chris Freeman from L'Arche Wavecrest. Welcome to our home.
And let's go inside.
And now let's go inside. Where we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And
The dining room, some call it. Yeah.
Dining room. And this is where we also wait for our buses and our taxi cabs to go to school.
Yeah, right out here on the front step.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, let's go to the living room next.
Okay. And now let's focus on our living room.
And what do we do in this room?
Oh, we have gatherings in here. We have TV. We have DVDs.
Yep. We also play music.
Right. Piano.
Piano. Yep. This is kind of our safe space, our sanctuary.
In behind the Christmas tree and the piano is our karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke machine. We love doing that. All right, where are we going to next? Let's walk through the kitchen.
Okay. And now let's go to the kitchen.
Wahoo! This is where
we have
delicious meals.
where we make our breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Uh-huh.
Dishwasher, sink.
Yep. This is also where we laugh and talk to each other.
Yep.
And who we talk to, this is our newest core member at Wavecrest. Do you want to say hi to her? Good morning, Alexa. Oh, she didn't say anything back. Oh, wait for me. Okay, and now we're going outside next.
This is where we do our laundry and our laundry.
Yep. The middle room.
Yep.
Ooh, it's pretty cold out here.
This is where we have all of our bikes.
Yep, and this is the thing that most people do know about us in L'Arche, is our pool. Let's go show them, eh?
Hey, let's go show the pool, folks.
Let's go show the pool, folks.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey. Woohoo! So this is my favorite place in the house.
Me too.
This is our pool. We got our lemon trees right here.
Lemon tree.
Lemon trees. And what do we like to do out here?
Swim.
Yeah. And what do you like to do over here?
Basketball.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. And then we also like to use our grill over here.
Barbecue. BBQ.
BBQ. Yep.
Yep. And there is a furnace that'll heat or make you chilly and cold.
Yep. Our hot water heater.
We'll try heat, huh?
Ah, yes, indeed. All right. So, shall we show them your room?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little messy, but let me take care of something.
The final destination.
This is my room where I sleep.
Chris Friedman's room.
And I have a brand new spanking computer.
Yep. Oh, the new laptop, the new
And
Christmas
I got
present.
a stereo.
Uh-huh. Yep. So this is Chris Freeman's digs. This
Yep,
is where the magic happens, eh?
Yep.
Nice.
I'm also a multiple time hoop star champion.
Yes, sir. And this is where you get your rest so you can perform and compete, yeah?
Yep. It's where I get my rest, and I got my trusty bear with me.
Nice. Well, thank you for taking us on a tour of our home.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
I'll do it again anytime.
All right, say bye to the people.
Bye, friends. See you next time.
Thanks for showing us around your digs.
Yeah.
Funny, Mary.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course. Yeah.
Welcome.
So the next step is to be open. You have to open your mind to welcome the other person in and be ready to be welcomed in by that person as well. And this is true of any relationship, especially in a diverse worship setting or really any community that you're part of. So another part of being open is to try new things. And we've been talking about building relationships. So Chris and Jack have actually taken on a building project together. And you might find that this has some relevance to your experience working on a team in your church or your congregation. So Chris, can you tell us a little bit about your background in carpentry?
I never built a birdhouse until now.
Until we did it together. But
Yeah.
why were you interested in building a birdhouse in the first place? Because you have a love of woodworking
Right,
and carpentry.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And where did that start? Is there kind of some family roots in there?
I just learned how to use a hammer and nail when I was little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It kind of became a passion of yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Learning all about it, but also doing it.
Right.
Well, you want to tell us about what it was like to build that birdhouse together?
It was good until the nails gave us headaches.
Yeah, so it was an interesting process. So Chris approached me back, and told me that he was interested in taking on a new woodworking project. And with COVID, we can't go to woodworking classes, and it kind of,
Until it's over.
Yeah, until it's over, and it's a little complicated right now to take on a bigger project. So Chris had the idea of, why not do a birdhouse? We can order a kit. It's something that's pretty simple, easy, yeah. And so I was totally on board. I had never done something like this before. I took wood shop in high school, but the most I made was a cutting board and very rudimentary, very easy things. But
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've been
I
to high
took wood
school.
shop too, and I made a toolbox. That's the only thing I ever made.
Nice. Well, you made a lot of things. There's a clock on the wall that Chris has made. So
Yeah.
I ordered the kit, and then just decided to kind of wait it out and see what was going to happen. I knew Chris knew a lot more about woodworking than I did, so I really relied on him throughout the whole thing. So yeah, so now we can kind of get to the challenges. So what happened with the nails?
They wouldn't go in the right direction. And I was go that way, go this way,
Every which way.
every which way that I could.
Yeah. So we had a lot of troubles with the nails, and we ended up
Holding together.
yeah, and we ended up splintering some of the wood pieces, and I was getting really frustrated.
So was
But
I.
Chris was a little bit, but really at the end of the day, we ran out of nails, so we weren't able to accomplish the birdhouse in one day.
Right.
So I was a little bit bummed and a little bit annoyed that it hadn't all completed in one day. But
Right.
you told me, you said, no, this is good. We have to take our time, and we have to go and make sure that we're doing everything right. So the longer you said something like, the longer it takes, the better, which sounded crazy to me.
But we got it done.
We got it done, yeah. And we each had gifts that we brought to the experience. So that's something we also really we value in large communities, is just the innate natural gifts that people have by way of who they are personally. So one of Chris's gifts is being very welcoming and being very positive also.
Right.
You can always find, the bright spot in even a really bad situation. So in this situation, which wasn't bad at all, he was, he found all the bright spots in the positivity, and just made it a really fun thing to do together. Do you have anything more you want to say about what you learned or things you enjoyed about it?
If I could redo another birdhouse, I would get more nails
More nails.
and glue.
More nails, more glue, and more patience.
More, yeah.
Those are the three extra things we put in our toolbox this time.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks for sharing that, y'all. I love this story.
Welcome.
Yeah. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to tell it.
Yeah. Well, and what I hear in it is that, Jack, you had to be open to learning something new. And Chris, you had to be open to kind of guiding him along the way and opening up some space for.
Yeah, it was fun doing the birdhouse, but like we were saying, we had a little obstacles, but we overcame them.
Yeah. And Chrissy created space for there to be grace around that. Yeah. So for you and our audience today, it might be that this story resonates with you. Yeah, I just wonder if you all have an experience of group work recently in a faith context where you've had to kind of slow down, put on the brakes, and learn something new. Or slow down, put on the brakes, teach something. Yeah. All right. So we've talked about being there, being open, and now we're going to talk about being patient. In order to build relationships, we've got to reflect on the process of building this relationship. So what's going well? What's going not so well? Adjustments do we need to make in order to build this relationship together? So Chris and Jack, you know all about this. So could we just listen in a little bit on your reflections as you ask each other some questions?
Yeah, we'd love to. I have a question for you.
Go ahead, go for it.
You ready? Okay. As someone who has lived at L'Arche for 16 years, which is a very long time, do you have any tips about how to welcome new members or new people, make it more general, new people into your life or your, in your community of friends and family and loved ones?
By welcoming them, give them a drink, say, do you want, have yourself a nice cold drink, come talk with me.
Yeah. Hospitality,
Yeah.
making people feel at home. Yeah. What about, not being, something you're really good at is just naturally by who you are is, not holding any judgment for people. So do you think that's important when you're welcoming someone new?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. You're really good at that. Okay, here's a question you could ask me.
Okay, what's it like to make new friendships at L'Arche?
It's been unique this year for 2020 just because of COVID. We've been on lockdown since last March of 2020. So I've had the ability to spend a lot of time with all the core members in our community in a short period of time. I'm kind of coming up on being here for about a year, but it's been really it's been challenging all that time, especially spent inside when there's only so much to do. But it's also been a blessing because we've had, we talked about being open and we're on being patient now. And I think for a prerequisite for being open and being patient is to stop moving and to stop your mind from racing and to just, really put the phone down.
Relax.
Yeah. Put the phone down, close the laptop, look at the person that you're with. So it's been a blessing because of that. But yeah, it's been a hard year too. There's been a lot of loss and sadness and so, I just feel lucky to have you and to have everyone else in this house to go through all that with, because how it's way better than going through it alone. Now that's 2021. What I feel is just grateful that I've had these people to get to know and that accept me for every part of who I am. Even when I'm having a bad day, they love me just the same. That's really all we can want in this life, I think.
Wow. I've got just one more question for you, Chris, which is, what has been your experience being part of a church or a faith community?
It's been great. I like going to, because I see everybody almost all the time.
Yeah. So what's it like been, before COVID? What are some churches that you were a part of? Chris is infamous in all of Orange County. Pretty much every church knows him and loves him. He's kind of a church hopper. And you've been going to all virtual churches on Sundays, but I think he goes to about 3 church services.
There's one special church that I've been involved with, Emmanuel.
Emmanuel, yeah. Is that the one
in Fullerton?
Yes, in Fullerton.
Where Mother Lynn and Father Rob used to.
Yes.
Mother Lynn would tell stories, and I would she can have a funny side, or she can have a funny side and a serious side if you both look at it both ways.
Is this the pastor of the church?
But she's a very good friend of mine.
And she's a very good friend of the community too.
And so, Chris, how does she welcome you into her church? And how do you welcome people into church?
I greet them and say hello, and they say, hi, how are you? What's up?
Yeah, sounds like personal connection is a big one for you.
Yep.
This is the best person to have with you if you've never gone to a church before. because he's not afraid to talk to anybody.
Nope.
You know, really, I mean, sure.
I'm a
yeah.
social butterfly. That's what Karen Carr calls me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'd love to go to church with you sometime, Chris.
You're always welcome. You know that.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Well, we're just about to the end here. Let's pull up our list of tools again, and we can kind of review the.
All right. Number 1,
Be there.
show up to the relationship or the call to growth.
Be open.
Open your mind to the welcome the other person in, and be ready to be welcomed in by the other person.
Be patient.
Reflect on the process. What is going well? What is not going well? What adjustments need to be made in order to build a relationship more fully together?
Last but not least, be authentic.
Find acceptance for the other person and yourself. Celebrate the gifts each of you offer both individually and collectively.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hardest one. Yeah, it requires some courage. I'm constantly learning about this, to show up with my gifts and also with the places where I need help. It's really hard to bring both of those things. It takes some courage and some vulnerability to do that. But that's what real relationship is two people seeing each other in their entirety and accepting and supporting each other. Yeah, and celebrating one another. So Jack and Chris have one final gift that they'd like to offer you. And as they get set up for that, I've got just a little thought exercise for you. Yeah, so each of us every day is building relationships with our coworkers, with our family members, our friends, people in our faith communities. And I just wonder if there are relationships in your life that you would like to cultivate with somebody who is different from you. So just take a couple seconds to think about that. So in L'Arche, we focus on building relationships between people with and without intellectual disabilities, but there are lots of ways that we are different. So we hope this time together will prompt you to see the differences in the people around you and maybe the people in your congregation as opportunities to grow rather than as something that's intimidating. And it's in this really small work, building one relationship at a time, that brings about the change that enriches our workplaces, our faith communities, our homes, our society. So we really appreciate your spending this time with us together. And if you'd like more information about L'Arche, or if you want to make a gift, you can check out our website, larcheusa.org, or you can find us on social media. And our very biggest need right now is for more people to know about L'Arche USA and L'Arche Wavecrest and all the L'Arche communities across the country. So please sign up for our e-newsletter on the website and follow us on Facebook or Instagram and share us with a friend. And if you know of any groups that would like to have a presentation like this, we do Zoom presentations, so we'd love to come speak to you. And I'd also be really happy to hear from you if you have any questions. And so my email is there. I would love to stay in touch. So Jack and Chris, are you ready to send us out by sharing one of your gifts?
Yep.
Awesome. We hope that this sends everybody out on their day with a smile.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
We'll start right away.
Great.
Okay, so you got a friend in me.
Doopy-doopy-doo.
You got a friend in me.
La 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 la.
When the road looks rough ahead
And you're miles and miles from your home bed. You just remember what your old pal said. 'Cause you got a friend in me. Oh yeah.
you got a friend in me.